that I just want. Oh, there it goes. Okay, there it goes. So the false slander campaigns, that I'm not a real targeted individual, and that I just read up on the symptoms and just looking for a group to belong to, which was not true. I was trying to figure out why. I mean, because I heard about, I don't remember, it was 2011 or 2012, after researching the Illuminati, and I found out about targeted individuals and gang stalking and stuff. And they used to have people on my Twitter timeline that used to talk about targeted individuals and gang stalking, but a lot of them were fake, new age popular fake TI perps. And I used to research a lot on chemtrails and this and that, whatever, and the New World Order agendas and stuff. And back in 2012, I remember hearing about Midge Mathis and the directed energy weapon torture. I remember James Lico. I remember, reading his blog quite a few times, throughout the years. James Lico, Midge Mathis, and all those people, and the directed energy weapon and all that. But it's like it didn't click, and it didn't click, and it's like I couldn't put all the pieces of the puzzle together. But in 2015, I believe it was when it started. When in 2015 was when they started to vibrate my left foot, or they would vibrate my organs, or sometimes vibrate my whole body, and then I would be sleep deprived and I couldn't really sleep. I could not get sleep many nights, and I didn't realize that lack of sleep can be so dangerous. And so in Los Angeles, I dealt with a lot of abusive, rude, hateful people, especially those illegal Mexicans. And so in 2015 and 2016, it's like I ended up homeless and was forced to give up my place to live, and it was unbearable to live there because of the vibrating so bad. I ended up homeless, and Lisa Ruby lured me to Greenville, South Carolina, and then she was spiritually abusing me, and I think she was trying to groom me to be sacrificed. And then I had, in order to freaking escape, I ended up on the streets for 9 days, and I had to wait for my Section 8 in Greenville, South Carolina to come through, because she juiced my head up and wanted me to transfer all my government benefits. And she waited till after all my benefits got transferred over to treat me like she didn't want me over there no more. It's like, what you brought me down here for? I didn't want to come here in the first place. You kept being coercive and pushy. And then she was making false promises and stuff like that, and juicing my head up and trying to butter me up, juice my head up. And she said off her own mind, before I even told her anything about the driving thing, we're gonna take Candy driving. And then she turned around and treated me like she didn't trust me to drive, while she was the one who would drive reckless and make me feel unsafe in the car. Her and her fake slutty daughter, Julia. And Julia, for them to be so Christian, Julia was 9 years younger than me, and thought she could try to discipline and handle me and try to tell me off about myself and be disrespectful and abusive. And then Miss Lisa Ruby made it like as if Julia was brainwashed with some guy who practiced Taoism and Taoism, and that Julia was supposedly sleeping with the guy, and that basically like certain pictures that I saw of Julia, it seemed like as if flies and gnats are coming. It seemed like Julia seemed like she was like an all-out turned Satanist. Like, but then Lisa Ruby said that her husband came from Satanism and turned to Christian, and she said that she was molested and raped and abused and stuff by the Shriners and the Freemasons and stuff. And so she made it like she came from the occult and that her dad was a Freemason or something, and her husband was a supposedly high-level Freemason. I'm sorry, her husband was a high-level Satanist. And so they made it like as if they left Satanism or the occult and then turned to Jesus. And then come to find out they never really left. And Miss Lisa thought I deserved to be punished with homelessness on the streets. It's like she set me up to be homeless. And Miss Lisa Ruby was a gang stalking, a fake TI perp, because her and her husband, they mentioned to me that they told me that they were targeted individuals. But no, they were abusive, narcissistic, fake TI perps. And Miss Lisa Ruby, she was big on, her and her husband, they were big on manipulating me with the food, forcing me to starve and calling it fasting. And then would use all my traumas as a weapon. Like, she wanted me to write down and tell her all my traumas and everything in my life just so she could figure that it can be deliverance from demons. It's like, well, how the hell am I the one full of demons if I was abused? So that she tried to make it like I'm full of demons, and she was very, using the Bible to be manipulative and abusive and stuff. And Darius was performing the same tactic. Not all of them, but some of the same. I never met Darius in person, but he did some of the same spiritual abuse tactics like Lisa Ruby. And they even talked the same. Just imagine a male voice, but they talk just alike. Same accent and everything. Same way of saying things. Lisa Ruby and Tracy Broadhurst, they pretty much damaged me, spiritually. And it took me like at least 5 years to recover. And then, oh, them dirty buses. So, even though Darius is younger than me, but he gave me like, come on, stop. Oh, if that ain't the bus, I don't know what the, come on. So, he gave me the false illusion of closure on certain traumatic situations that I told him about, but I didn't realize he secretly pulled away from me and had a certain opinion about me and started to act weird and different and stuff. And it's like he rewounded. Come on! Oh, now these gnats and flies and stuff. So I had just begun to heal from come on. So I had just begun to heal from what Lisa Ruby and Tracy Broadhurst did to me. Being brought up in a cult. Wow, they trying to get me to shut up. And this never-ending construction on Palafox Street. It's like they had non-stop construction on the street, never ending. New Orleans Canal Street is not even like that. See, they doing this for noise harassment. Just try to stop me from talking about, the meat of the situation. I mean, the meat of what I was really trying to talk about, So, I mean, Tracy Broadhurst and Lisa Ruby, they spiritually ruined me, and then it took me at least 5 years to heal. And then Darius gave me false hopes about my traumas and plus my targeting and stuff to turn around and re-wound me all over again. And so now he is lying to people and saying that I took advantage of his soft heart and that I'm the manipulative and all that. And it's like he defended and agreed with J. Demon Rotten shit by trying to make it like as if he agreed with her when she tried to say, I don't believe Candy was ever targeted at all. Well, have you ever read The Symptoms of Targeting? And Darius saw my targeting videos. He saw gang stalking footage, and he showed me some of gang stalking footage that he went through. So, and he swears that he would never sell out, but he's, bullying people, telling people to repent or threaten people with plagues of the Bible and stuff, and telling people to repent. But then he's doing underhanded, sneaky, wicked shit behind my back. Especially after I exposed the truth about him, people ain't listening, and they try to make it like I'm just being a attention-seeking drama queen or whatever. But it's like I'm letting y'all know all these people are flipping out. They're flipping, and then it's like when Darius falsely accused me. He tried to say, well, see all this stuff what you're talking about, you being scared. You'll be the first to. He said, you'll be the first to sell out at the right price. And I figured he was using projection when he said that. He probably already sold out at the right price and was probably bullied and got scared. But then he walks around fear-mongering. And so when he said, oh, see what that, all you talking about being scared, oh, you'll be the first to sell out at the right price. That's something that would come out of Lisa Ruby's mouth. So, they vibrated my body yesterday, and they vibrated my body right now. I mean, they're vibrating my body right now. I mean, last night they vibrated me so bad that I almost felt the need to get up from this area. But surprisingly, I think I was so tired and sleepy that I fell asleep from like 11 or 11:30, and I slept throughout the night. And then I woke up at close to 5, just before 5 o'clock this morning, and had to pee for the first time. So they're vibrating my body at the moment, and there was a point in time for over a year they did not vibrate me when I was on the streets, homeless on the streets. But, last night, me being on the streets and they vibrate my body, it is unbearable. And they're vibrating my back right now. So, it's a shock for Darius to defend and agree with somebody who he knows is one of my perps. With the perp saying that I just want a group to, and she's just parroting what my twin sister saying, that I just want a group to belong to. And that I just read up on the symptoms and just want a group to belong to, and that I'm not really targeted. Like, Darius ought to know, he ought to freaking know better. But I know as I said, I think he's just doing this to be evil and get underneath my skin and try to spiritually ruin me. But then he was just telling me over the phone the night before that I know you're heavily targeted. Now he wants to switch a narrative and make it like as if he always doubted me, or that the spirit told him that I had always been fake and stuff like that, and then he's slandering me, falsely accusing me of practicing witchcraft and all that, or being a witch. just for he even said in his video that me seeking emotional support is witchcraft. You know, and then he makes it like as if I'm forbidden or not allowed to talk about my traumas, or that I need to work on healing mechanisms, my own healing mechanisms. Well, how come it's okay for other people to talk about their traumas? I mean, it's like targeting is trauma. So he needs to come out and admit, yes, that victim and survivor video was about Candy Grandpre and calling me an infection. And I had not done him anything offensive. He pulled away from me for no reason. And then secretly led me on to believe that we were still friends. He secretly hated me. When he love bombed me and tried to butter me up, and I got multiple screenshots of multiple YouTube comments where he used to support and watch all my videos, and then later on he started to be like, oh, your videos are too long and stuff. So then he talked about these fake ass TIs, these long ass videos and stuff like that. When he stopped showing, footage of being targeted, and then he wants to talk about, oh, my divine mission is more important than my earthly existence. And when it comes to spiritual warfare, like he told me last year, can't nobody war like me. And that's something that'll come out of Lisa Ruby's mouth, that, can't nobody, something that is likely to come out of her mouth. Like, nobody can be a spiritual warfare fighter better than you can. That's arrogance. I mean, and Darius, just like Lisa Ruby, Darius is a religious narcissist. A religious narcissist. So, I mean, I have been, venting and just getting it out, because, I mean, I'm shocked at this, and so then I'm, he was the one who deceived me and manipulated and played games throughout the fake friendship. And, and it seemed like he just want to treat me like a punching bag and dump everything all onto me, because he got unresolved trauma too. But, it's better for me to vent than to, and feel better than to, I mean, it's like if I don't get to talk about my traumas, then that's how people end up self-destructing, when they're forced to hold everything in. But you don't think you have the authority to go around and you verbally and spiritually busting people's ass. Like, go sit down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere. You don't have that authority. You don't have any authority at all. You're working for the devil and claiming that you're spiritual and stuff. Your own sister told you that you act like you think you're bigger than God, because you called me up crying, telling me about your sister. And you're a dude, and you called me up crying, telling me about your sister. So you call me up and tell me about your problems or arguments with your family members. And he's very controlling and abusive. Very controlling and abusive. And got a temper. And he left a voice message on my answer machine, on my voicemail, threatening to kill someone. But how you going to talk about holiness and righteousness and repentance when, you go around gaslighting and manipulating and abusing people? So it's like, I guess it's going to take me some time to it's like I'm re-wounded all over again and going to have to heal. But, I'm trying to put this behind me. It's very hard, and you exploiting the idea of me not having an emotional support system. That's evil. So, I mean, I hope you end up feeling convicted. I hope you end up feeling convicted about what you did to me and how you treated me and stuff. Like, who the hell, imagine if I never did you anything, and then you do a video falsely accusing me of playing the victim and then calling me an infection and stuff. That's pretty harsh to call someone an infection. We never got into an argument or nothing. And I called him up and he lied and said that video wasn't about me, and then tried to say, oh, I told you you were one of my favorites. So who's the one who's the liar and the manipulator here? And J Demon Rotten shit and all the other online perps, y'all need to butt out, because this ain't none of y'all business. I have y'all blocked for a reason. But they act like they think they own me, and act like they think they're my pimp or something. And like they have a license to meddle in people's business. You know, I have y'all accounts blocked, because y'all continually harass, stalk, and follow me all my life, all day, every day. And when you should tend to your own families. You got a 10-year-old son. I don't know how old that boy is, but you have a whole damn son to take care of. Tend to your son and stay out my business. I mean, how the hell are you watching me, another grown-ass woman, you watching and stalking my every move like a damn babysitter, or treat me like as if treat me like a damn, like acting like a prison guard, you know, acting like a prison guard towards me or something. When you got a family, you got kids. Starbricker, you got a whole damn husband. Tend to your husband. You know, tend to your own damn lives. You know. But I have a right to say what I want on my doggone channel. And I have a right to expose abuse. And people want to perform abuse behind closed doors, but front, like out in the open, they want to front like they're great people. And they don't want their fake image tarnished. But there's a difference between exposing abuse or smear campaigning and lying just to cover up your damn image. Darius, I thought you were better than that. You're faker than everybody else.